many pieces to it, and this is one of the great what-ifs. You know, one of the woulda, coulda, shouldas. What if back in September this House had actually taken up the elements of the American Jobs Act? There was, I think, almost 250,000 teaching jobs that were in this piece of legislation. There was also almost the same number of police and firemen and public safety officers in the legislation. It didn't happen, and so I know that in my daughter's and son-in-law's own school district, there have been layoffs because of the economic and financial circumstances of the state of California, and the class size went from 22, 23 to 33, 34. An extraordinary burden on the kids. And when you're in the second or third grade, you never get a chance to go back and repeat. That's a lost year, and that'll carry through perhaps all the rest of your life, that you miss that opportunity to really advance your education. Just on the educational side, you go, whoa, what if we had another 280,000 teachers in the classroom across America today? How would that advance the well-being of our children? And I think it's very clear. They'd be far better off. Far better off. But it didn't happen.
And Representative Garamendi, you're offering a very powerful statement, a powerful challenge, the what if. But when you take that statement and the failure to commit to our nation's children and then contrast that with what's happening in competitor nations, where they're investing in education, investing in higher education, investing in research, investing in advanced manufacturing, these are the challenges that are facing us as a government, as a body, as a House of Representatives. And if we do not respond accordingly, we're holding back a nation. We're actually pushing us backward. This discussion here in this House ought to be about moving us forward with progressive policy and investment of human infrastructure.
So the President also talked about building the foundation for tomorrow's economic growth. This is the infrastructure of the nation, a big word, but one that I think most Americans understand as being the roads, the bridges, the railroads, the sanitation systems, the water systems, the research, the schools. Wow. We delayed, I guess, all of us in some respect, but really the Republicans in this House controlled this, the transportation bill. Delayed the implementation or the reauthorization of the transportation bill until the middle of the construction season. Just 2 weeks ago, we actually passed a two-year transportation authorization program. Very, very important and very beneficial. But what if that had happened last September? We lost half of a construction season, and states and localities were unable to plan and put in place the projects that they needed to put in place because of the dilly-dallying and the delay that went on here. We'll take some of the blame on our side, but we don't control the legislation. It's controlled by our Republicans here, and ultimately they were unable to even put a bill out. The Senate did put a bill. I thank Senator Boxer from California, the lead author on that, and the minority leader in her committee. Two of them came together with a bipartisan bill. It finally got done. We're thankful for it. But the President wanted to go beyond that. He wanted to establish an infrastructure bank, one where we could literally invest some public money, some private money, and go about building projects that have a cash flow, like a toll road or a sanitation plant or a water system where people pay a fee and there's a cash flow, so that we could really build the infrastructure of this nation. But didn't happen.
You know, Representative Garamendi, as you're speaking, I'm thinking of those golden moments in our history, replete with those statements made by the nation, this nation, of investing, especially in tough times. Now, you know my district. I've described it several times. It's the confluence of the Hudson and Mohawk rivers and the donor area to the eastern portions of the Erie Canal. In very tough times, DeWitt Clinton proposes, Governor Clinton proposed
Now, this
A
was the
canal
governor from New York, not from Arkansas.
Right.
Okay.
Right. But proposed a canal system in tough times, saying we need to invest our way through this. There's a way to grow a port out of this town called New York. And there's a way, perhaps, that there will be a ripple effect, which there was, with the birthing of mill towns, a necklace of mill towns that became the epicenters of invention and innovation. And it drove a westward movement so that it headed toward California. It drove an industrial revolution, sparking all sorts of opportunity and activity, driven by a pioneer spirit that is unique to this nation. And our stories, our collection of stories, of journeys to this nation, with people embracing nothing but this noble dream, an American dream that transitioned a rags to riches scenario. That's what it's all about. It's us in our finest moments. And why not today, as we have these inordinate needs, to invest in the people, invest in jobs, understanding the dignity of work, underpinned by the effervescence of the pioneer spirit that is, I think, part and parcel to our DNA. It is within our fabric as a nation to have that pioneer spirit. We're denying it. We're denying that spirit.
Well, you just talk about